This is Tim Olsen with John L. Scott. We came out here to beautiful Rocky Hill Park to give you your monthly update on this housing market. Although the fall came in quickly, the temperatures dropped, the market's still pretty hot. Let me talk to you about the numbers through September and make a comparison to last year and kind of tell you where I think we're headed. In this first slide, you'll see that in the $0 to $250,000 price range, we only have about 7/10 of a month of worth of inventory, and the number of homes under contract in the first 30 days is a raging 71%. That's an incredible number. In the $250,000 to $350,000 price range, we've got about 1.1 months out of inventory, or at about 66.6% of the homes going under contract. You can follow this the western way down. As you can see, when you get up to the $750,000 to $1 million range, we've got more of a normal inventory level. That's 5 to 6 months. You can see how extreme these are and how things are going in our market in this Spokane Association of Realtors multiple listing service. The other thing we want to look at when we're talking about the health of the real estate market is we want to talk about prices. $282,000 is just over the average home price that was sold in September of 2019. That's up 11.2% from a year ago. We expect to see that to continue, and I'll show you some reasons why here in just a moment. The other metric that I want to show you is the distressed sales. Those are homes that are being taken back due to foreclosure and lack of payment. We're at less than 1% versus being just over 1.5% a year ago. So you can see that the health of the market remains strong. We did a video a while back on interest rates. We're just around 3.5% right now, coming down from about 4.5% a year ago. And that doesn't going to change for a while, I don't think. We've got record... That's all good. I was going to try to fit them in somehow, but I couldn't. One of the other metrics we need to obviously talk about is interest rates. As interest rates continue to come down, we're going to continue to see that lack of inventory keep this market somewhat elevated through the winter and into next season. Interest rates right now are right around 3.5% depending on credit scores. That's still down a full percent from where we were a year ago, and I don't see that picture changing anytime soon. This next slide is going to show you a couple things that I want to discuss with regards to a recession. Here's a Wall Street survey of economists expecting a recession is going to be happening sometime in early 2020 or 2021. 49.9% of economists expect one before the end of next year. 42% expect it to be in 2020, and that's actually early 2020. We did a video a few weeks ago that talked about the effects of a recession on the housing market. And I want to bring that up again because I think it's important for you to know that just because we have a recession with record low interest rates and record low inventory levels, that's not necessarily a negative thing for the housing market if you're buying or you're selling. This next slide is going to show you of the last 5 recessions, we had 2 recessions in which the housing market was down in negative numbers. 1991 was only down 1.9%, but in 2008 we were down 19.7%. It's important to look at why those recessions don't line up with what we're seeing today. During those recessions we had much higher interest rates, we had too many homes on the market, and the market just fell apart. Right now we have a lack of inventory, we have record low interest rates, and a lot of other things, including the distressed home sales numbers that I mentioned earlier, that really have no bearing on a negative housing market. It's all positive. Housing prices will continue to go up. Economists are predicting this also. You'll see on this next chart, depending on which state you're in, that home prices are expected to increase over time. Nobody's predicting that home rates will come down in the next year. These next 2 charts are going to show you why the housing market is very stable right now. We look at it as a percentage of your income, how much is going to your mortgage payment. We're still at historically low levels. These next 2 charts, take a minute, take a look at where they are and see if that matches up. On the first chart, we're looking at the historic norm as a percentage of income is 21.2% of people's paychecks should go towards mortgage payments. We're sitting currently around 15.7%. Shown another way, you'll see that it's expected that by June of 2020, $899 of someone's paycheck is expected to go towards the typical mortgage payment when we've been much higher, such as June of 2006 when we were closer to $1,287. This is just a quick snapshot of what's going on in our market here in Eastern Washington. I would love to hear from you and have a discussion with you if you're experiencing something different. We've gone over some national numbers. We kind of covered a lot of topics here in one short period of time. So if you like, please reach out. I'd be happy to discuss with you and how this may affect you and your plans, because that's really what's important. It's my goal to have my clients the most informed parties at the table during a negotiation, whether you're buying or selling. This is only part of what I try and do for my clients. My name is Tim Olsen. I'm a real estate agent with John L. Scott.